family of 4 was set up on my dock. Coolers, kayaks, inflatable tubes when I walked down. A man was tying a rope to my cleat while Karen, wearing a lanyard and holding a clipboard, stood at my gate. "Karen, the dock is all yours through Sunday. Access runs until 4 p.m., she announced. "Excuse me, what's happening on my property?" I asked. I pointed to the permit mounted on the gate post. My name, my lot number, county seal attached. "That permit says otherwise." I pulled out my phone to record the time. The family froze. The wife held up a printed platform confirmation showing my dock listed with a nightly rate and Karen named as the host. Karen had photographed my dock, listed it online, and collected payment from strangers. "This dock is private property within my recorded lot boundary. I hold the county permit and never authorized this rental," I told the family directly. "Which specific structures does Section 7 actually name?" I countered. She didn't answer, realizing she wasn't backing down. I thanked the family, apologized for their wasted trip, and walked back up the steps. Karen assumed I was backing down. What she didn't know was that the keypad gate she'd been giving access codes for ran entirely through an app on my phone. Every lock was linked to my device, and I'd been quietly documenting her operation. 2. Uncovering the CCNR lie, the paper trail. I bought my lake property 11 years ago, building the wooden dock under a county permit within my official lot lines. Our 74-home subdivision's HOA exists strictly to maintain 2 common areas, a south-end boat ramp and a wooden fishing pier. 3 years ago, Karen ran unopposed for a newly created waterfront amenities chair role. At first, she organized cleanups and repainted the pier, but without oversight, her authority expanded unchecked. After that morning, I pulled out the HOA's 43-page CC and RS to read Section 7 on page 19. It granting scheduling authority over 2 specific structures, the boat ramp and the fishing pier. The word dock did not appear anywhere. Karen was quoting rules that didn't exist. Next, I searched the rental platform. Karen's listing, titled Serene Private Boat Dock, had been live for 14 months. It featured 5 photos of my dock and boat. With 41 completed bookings priced between $120 and $280 a night, she had pocketed $6,000 to $8,000 off my private property. I created a dedicated evidence folder on my desktop and began filling it. 3. The escalate and threat, facing the board. The following Monday, I emailed Karen stating my dock was private property under county permit 204W317 and gave her 72 hours to remove the listing. She replied in 47 minutes, insisting the dock fell under HOA jurisdiction and threatening me with a $150 fine for obstructing community access. I requested a face-to-face meeting. She brought Dennis, a fellow board member serving as non-verbal backup. Karen presented a highlighted copy of Section 7. I turned to the unhighlighted paragraph above it, pointing to the explicit definition of community amenities. "Which structures does this clause actually authorize you to schedule?" I asked. Realizing she was cornered, Karen shifted tactics. "If you continue to obstruct operations, I'll initiate a compliance review of your dock structure, setback requirements, and architectural guidelines. Could take months of formal review." It was a tactic to make my life inconvenient. My dock was fully permitted and built to code 11 years ago, but I smiled, thanked them, and let them leave an official HOA violation notice behind. I archived the notice and saved the complete audio recording of our meeting, permitted under my state's single-party consent law. I then filed a formal homeowner records request for 2 years of HOA financial statements and meeting minutes. 4. Exposing the network, pattern of deception. I began spending more time on my dock, prompting neighbors to chat. Margaret, a retired teacher next door, came by with lemonade and casually mentioned Karen had enrolled her in the HOA Waterfront Partnership Agreement 14 months prior. Karen had promised rental proceeds would offset annual HOA dues. Margaret showed me the signed document on fake HOA letterhead. Searching the platform revealed her kayak launch was also listed. 14 bookings at $90 a night. When the HOA financial records arrived 8 days later, 2 years of line items showed zero rental income deposited into community accounts. Karen was pocketing every cent. Days later, I spoke to another neighbor, Rob. Karen had pressured him into signing by fabricating a fake county ordinance requiring all private docks to register under a unified access program. 3 neighbors, 3 completely different lies. Section 7 authority for me, a fake partnership agreement for Margaret, and a non-existent county ordinance for Rob. 5. The final play, reviewing the footage. 6 weeks before the HOA annual meeting, a letter arrived. Karen had submitted a formal proposal to amend the CC and RS, adding a clause that reclassified all private docks within 50 feet of the waterfront as shared amenities under her control. She was trying to legally cover her fraud retroactively. Amending the rules required a 2/3 supermajority, 50 of 74 homes, betting that residents wouldn't read the fine print. That afternoon, I reviewed 14 months of footage from my motion-activated dock cameras. What I saw confirmed the sheer danger of her scheme. Multiple groups of strangers lounging on my slip for hours. A man attempting to pry off my boat's canvas cover. A group unloading heavy kayaks directly onto my boat. Most alarmingly, a man untying my boat's cleats while an unattended 4-year-old child climbed onto my rocking deck, standing balance-free near the wheel console for 30 terrifying seconds before an adult noticed. Karen had not just trespassed and stolen. She had exposed my property to immense liability and physical danger. I closed the video file, added it to the folder, and prepared for the annual meeting.